most all of you know what that is. How about its big brother, or maybe its big cousin, I don't know. The 22 long rifle, 22 Win Mag. Let's talk today about whether or not a 22 Win Mag would be a good gun, a suitable gun for self-defense scenarios. This is Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. My man Drew, often behind the cameras and editing desk, and today we are going to shoot a brand spanking new, tag still on the gun, 22 Win Mag. This is the Kel-Tec PMR-30. 30 stands for 30 rounder. Still got the tag on it. She's never had a single round through it. We're going to do that together. Here's the things we're going to look at. I've got 3 different kinds of ammo. I've got the chronograph set up. We're going to look at how she feeds. We're going to check out these 30 round monster magazines. I've got a outside the waistband holster that was provided, thank you, from C&G Holsters. We're going to look at accuracy, reliability with these big magazines. And then when we're all said and done, I've got a big old fat chunk of pork butt with the bone still in it. And we're going to get it up on the table here. And we're going to sacrifice that piece of meat for science. And we'll talk more about why we're using meat today and not ballistic gelatin. So I'm going to gun up, eyes and ears up, and we're going to get right to it because you guys don't want to see anything but this gun. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So first things first, a brand new firearm. Always ensure she's got enough lubrication. Of course, I'm using Gunfighter gun oil, guys. It's not only our brand, but it's the best brand. The best brand. So make sure you got this bad boy good and lubricated. Follow manufacturer's recommendations or whatever you think's best, because we're dudes and that's just what we're gonna do. Yep. Let's get to it. So as per usual, we've got the USPSA target set up here with a couple inch mark. I'm gonna shoot at that, testing its accuracy. And then 10 yards down here, we've got the Garmin 0 C1 something 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 chronograph. And I'm gonna set you guys up so you can get a good look at the chrono and the shooting, and we'll check out what kind of speeds we're getting out of these things. Let's do it, huh? Something I should probably show you. So these magazines hold 30. And I'm not gonna lie, so far I haven't shot them, so I'm assuming they're gonna break in. I'm hoping they are. They load similar to most magazines, push down, push back. But as you start getting to the higher round counts, past 15 or so, I wouldn't call me weak by any means. It was a pain in the butt to load. I'm hoping that they break in a little bit. And the way that they feed in there, you kind of have to tap and slap and things like that to get them seated. So let's just see how they break in. All right, so let's start off with CCI, the Maxi Mag. These are full metal jacket, 40 grainers. And if you look at these, they sort of have like a flat nose on them. So we'll see if those feed reliably. Full metal jacket, 40 grain. Advertised velocity out of these is 1875. My assumption would be that that is a rifle round, not a pistol. So we'll see what we're getting. This is like a 3 3/4, 4 inch, depending on where you measure it, pistol. Let's see what we got. Oh, I already have a little issue here trying to get that first round to feed. Dumped one on the ground. That little square nose might be hosing us. You're seeing it as it's happening, kids. Here we go. Damn, that's loud, boy. 1354. Trigger's not terrible at all. That's 10 shots. 15. All right, 16 and some kind of double feedage here. Failure to extract, failure to eject. Let me clear that out. You know, rim fires are notorious for BS like this. See if I can get her back in battery. Got it. Finish up this mag. Whoo! Chamber clear. So let's just take a little peek. My accuracy test kind of went to hell. Let's see what we've got here. This was that 40 grain full metal jacket. Zoom you in a little bit more. Let's see what our averages are and all that good stuff. There we go. That's a little better. So minimum 1241, max 4005. So the average of this stuff was 1347. I put 24 rounds. And I dropped a couple. 24 rounds fired though. So let's switch to the next one. Forgot to show you the target. Pretty unimpressive. I was more concerned with the massive amount of noise. I think I'll slow down and we'll get a better group going here in a minute. So I'm going to finish just by getting these chronoed, and then we will we'll be more careful and try to shoot some good groups here to see what we've got. All right, next up, another 40 grainer, except this one is a little miniature jacketed hollow point. Same 1875 advertised speed. We'll see what this bad dude's a running and a gunning. All right, here we go. Loud as snot, you guys. Chamber clear. Let's take a peek at what we got going on with this one. All right. Shot a little too fast and did not get good numbers here for every shot, but I got more than 10, so this will get us where we need to be. Min 1320, max 1374, very similar to the last setup. Average 1348. Extreme spread on this one was 53 and some change. So, you know, we're in the mid 13s with these little guys. Let's go immediately on to the next one. 30 grain V-Max from Hornady. These have an advertised velocity of 2,200 feet per second. We know we're not getting that out of a pistol. These are the little ballistic tip missiles. Let's see what we're getting out of the little pistol barrel here. Thought I'd change the angle on you guys. You're probably bored of staring at the back of my head. Little press check on this dude because it's not loading. So this is something I was afraid of with these mags. I'm assuming they're going to break in. There, now we got to load. They're kind of stiff here right now. Here we go. Eyes and ears, everybody on the range. I'm going to shift to the head box. Wow, that is friggin' loud. Oh, tap, rack. I really don't mind the trigger on this thing. I'm going to stop there. Safety on, safely holster. Significantly faster though, guys. Average velocity on this one, 1541. 1541 is our average velocity. Yeah, I understand, Radar. Thank you. So let's see the shot list here. Go back. Shot summary. There we go. So min is 1480 and max 1599. So that's up there for a little tiny pistol. Let's take a peek at this. I was not trying to shoot very good groups here. I suppose I could have. I was more concerned with the shots that we were getting across the chrono. Here's that last group. It's about 3 inches maybe. And here's the first 2 magazines. So I'm going to throw new cardboard up and we will save that for later. And I'm going to shoot some groups here. We'll see if we can tighten this stuff up. Tight like a tiger. So far what I'm thinking about, really nice little trigger on this bad boy. I don't hate it at all. Not too shabby for what it is. I've still got these V-Maxes on board. So I'm gonna move you guys so that we can see our 10-yard mark here. That's better. And I'm gonna shoot, I'll shoot low with the V-Max, and I'm just gonna try to chase my first bullet hole. This has a external safety on it, which I'm using right now. Wow, that is loud. Safety on. I'll show you that group. I'll run you down there right now so we can see it. Whoop. So that's not a bad little group, just shooting offhand, 10 yards. I'd say we're about 1.25 inches. You see that? And that was my first shot. I noticed these sights shoot high at this distance. So I held here again. That was my second shot, and I kind of lost those sights. I want you to see these sights up close here. They're very bright. They're very big. Big, large fiber optic-y dots. See that? So they cover up a lot of target. Let's go shoot the other. Next up, we'll go in reverse order. We're back to the jacketed hollow point 40 grainer. I'll shoot in the A zone now. Safety off. That one, that was me. That was all me. That was a flyer. Not too happy about that, but I'm going to show you. I felt that in my grip. So here were my first 4 shots. First shot, second shot, third, fourth, fifth. That was my fault. That was not the ammo or the gun. So that would have been about a 1-inch group if not for that flyer. We're going to shoot some more, right? We're not making like big decisions on 5 or 10 rounds, but we're getting some initial kind of feelings. How does it feel? How do you really feel, Bob? Last but not least, we'll go back to the jacketed, that little flat nose jobber, right? Let's check it out. Something's taken me getting some used to. Mag release, kind of that old European style at the back of the grip. Here we go. Well, we'll shoot in the head box. Damn, that is loud. Safety on. That holster feels nice from CG. I could definitely see myself cutting the grass, going on a walk with this gun. So this one again, I felt like was bullshit. This high guy here, I felt like I had a good trigger press. So we've got about a 2-inch group. How about we do this? How about we load some more up? I'll paste these up and let's try one more set of groups. We've got a nice clean target now, all pasted up, and I've got white pasters. We'll go to the top, and at the top we will shoot the 40 grain jacketed hollow point. Let's see what that looks like. We'll get some groupage going again here, and I'm gonna take my time. I'm starting to get accustomed to the trigger here a little bit more. Let me verify. Yep, I've got the jacketed hollow point on board. Here we go. Get some good footing underneath me. I feel like this gun is more capable than I am. If you really want to get good group data, get sandbags. I want to see what I can do just standing. We're now going to do the jacketed hollow point, So this will be shot into the middle target on the A zone. Tap, rack. Wow. Six rounds out of that group. I guess that's all I put in there. And the bottom, nope, not that one. This one, we're going to shoot the V-Max down at the bottom. Little press checkage. Okay, here we go. Damn, that is loud. It's fun. Let's go take a peek, guys. It's getting warm out here. By the way, today is my mom's birthday. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mama. So let's see, first things first. First things first is the head here. We've got about a 2-inch group, inch and 15/16 group. And what I notice here, pretty good elevation wise. And we go down, you're gonna see something different. We go down, so that was the jacketed hollow point. We come down, I'm sorry, that was the jacketed, the full metal jacket. The center is the jacketed hollow point. Looks like we've got about a 2.5 inch group, maybe a little bit more, 2.5, 2 9/16. Check it out. I was doing the same hold as I did here. Most of the rounds went high with the jacketed hollow point. Very interesting, very interesting. And then we come to the 30 grainer, and I felt like I was getting good trigger presses. We're about 1 7/8 there. About 1 7/8. And a lot of those are in the same hole. Check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I fired 10 rounds total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. that's at least 4 or 5. So I fired 10 or 11 rounds. You guys got the video, you can count them yourself. But I'm thinking some of this is me, but this gun's capable. I mean, that's 10 yards, and those all would have been in the target paster if I knew the holds. All of these targets, I was just holding on the paster. So you get kind of an idea now of the gun's basic capabilities of accuracy. So you just saw the first rounds. Everything we just shot was the first time I've ever shot one of these that I can recall, and it's most definitely the first time this gun's been fired. So it's brand spanking new. What we just did was the first shots through it. Initial thoughts, it's very light, it's comfortable, it's not pretty. It's not ugly. I mean, it's kind of funky, right? It's a real utilitarian kind of gun. I wouldn't feel bad sweating all over this while I was out in the woods. I wouldn't feel bad having it on my hip while I was on my dirt bike or my horse. I wouldn't feel bad, doing yard work and having it get all full of sawdust and yard clippings and things like that. Trigger's really decent for a plastic gun. Smooth and pretty short. Not bad at all. Not too creepy, not too chunky, and it's brand new, so maybe it's gonna smooth out some over time. I'm gonna shoot it some more for you. I'm gonna do some mag dumps onto steel, and I wanna see how she's feeding. And my thought is, as we break it in more, it's gonna become more reliable. The sights at 10 yards, we'll go back to 20, 30 yards here and we'll shoot some. I'll put some fun targets up like some balloons, just because. Today is my mom's birthday, as I told you, and because it's mom's birthday, I want to talk a little bit about why this gun might be a good self-defense tool. Not everybody, including me, is always going to be able to hold a full-size fighting caliber gun. I've got an EMT certificate. I've worked in the ER. I've rode around on ambulances. I've worked with elderly. We've all had grandparents or somebody older. As we age, things degrade on us, right? My mother is still very strong and virile. She's a great grandma, but she's 4'11". She's got 11 children she birthed and I believe 10 grandchildren. And now my granddaughter is her first great-grandchild. She's got little tiny fingers, right? Little tiny hands. Her holding a 9mm or a 40 or a 45 or a 38 snubby is very hard. My mom's fingers probably come up to about the middle of mine. She's a little 4'11", tiny little lady. And I'm just using her for example because today's her birthday. Would you welcome the swarm of little bees that the 30 rounds that this thing can dish out? Would you welcome that? Would that be something that you would want? I want to shoot some meat today too. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to run some mag dumps with a couple of these rounds. I want to get a taste. I want to taste the taste. And then we're going to put that piece of pork butt up and we're going to try that. You guys got any questions as we're going, throw them in the comments and I'll get back to you. I'm trying my best, guys. Sitting here loading these. This one's open, empty rather. Just thought I'd have you watch me load. 1, 2, 3. It starts out pretty nice. 4. And these have been used the little bit that we've seen. 5, 6, 7, 8, like watching paint dry. 9, 10, 11. Load them like a regular mag, push down and push it back. 12, 13. Starting to get heavy. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I gotta grab a few more. 21, 22. Oop, dropped one. 23. Drop this one in my pocket and clean it off. Little rim fires are finicky, especially with dirt. 24. 25. 26. You earn it if you're going to shoot these things. You earn it. 27, 28, 29. Oh man, she barely wants to go in. And 30. Let's see if I can get another one in there just for the hell of it. That's 30. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it. And I don't want to break anything. The feed lips start to deform if you push on it. I'm going to move you guys and let's mag dump here, huh? Who doesn't like a good mag dump? Who doesn't like a good mag dump? How about right about there? It's right there pretty good for you. I don't know why I'm talking in that accent, but that's what I got today for you. All right, you ready? I'm ready. Mag dump-a-miss. Get back a little bit more. I've got my workroom spread out around the range here. Little press checkage. All right, she's good. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I'm gonna get strong behind the gun. Ah, stoppage. So, failure to extract. And I hope you saw I was gripping the snot out of that gun. So when we talk about, are they good for self-defense? I got 4 out. That was the 5th. 4. So for the most part, we got 1. You got a lot of rounds coming out of that little dude. A lot of rounds. I mean, that's some firepower, you guys. That little swarm of bees, I mean, dang! Dang! At least that's what I'm thinking. Here's what I want to do for you. I want to take you for a beer, but that's not what we're doing. Gun's clear. I'm just going to go to the holster and let her cool off a little bit. I want to see what this thing does on flesh. We've got a big old chunk of pork butt. I'm going to feed this pork butt to the fish and the wild animals, and I'm going to shoot it. A lot of stuff going on now where people are shooting ballistic gel, and I use clear ballistics. I use ballistics gel. That stuff is meant to be in a standardized medium that you can compare bullet to bullet. It's not human tissue. Never was, never will be, never was actually meant to be. It's a standardized test medium that is meant to somewhat simulate the fluid of tissue, but it's not bone, it's not sinew, it's not muscle, it's not ligament, it's not tendon, it's not clothes, it's none of those things. And yes, you can put denim or glass or drywall in front of it. The point was, is it's a standardized test medium. If you look at ballistic gel tests and you think that's what a bullet will do in a human, meh. And there's a couple companies out there making products that look like people out of ballistic gel. It's not the same thing. And plastic bones are not our bones. Every year at our S12 event, we do some tissue labs with large chunks of pork. And what you will notice is data changes. You could shoot 1 round at a certain piece of meat and bone, and it'll punch a clean hole straight through. Same bullet, same gun, next piece of pork will blow a huge chunk out of it. It depends on a lot of factors, and guess what? All of us, some of us are hard, some are soft, some are fat, some are skinny. Some of us have osteoporosis, some of us drink our vitamin D, right? We've all got different structures in bones. So we're gonna use this with the different loads we have, and we're just gonna see, what does this do to a piece of flesh? And that's what I'm really interested in. Let's get at that. 9-pound chunk of meat. Bone is running this direction. We're gonna aim in here and see if we can't hit that bone. We'll dissect it a little bit. See what happens. First things first, we've got the jacketed full metal jacket, and I'm gonna hit record here on the high speed, and let's see what we get, kids. I'm gonna see where that bone's at, eyes and ears. I'm alone on the range. Damn, that is loud. Let's clear this blaster out. And I'll stop this. Dang, that is freaking loud, boys. I don't know what it looked like for you, but I'm gonna go ahead and shoot 2 more. I'm gonna aim farther right with each one, and we'll just see what we get. So the second one up here is the jacketed hollow point. See what we get with that guy. Safety on. Let's hit record. So here's my entrance right here. I'm going to come over a couple of inches. Man, that moves some meat around, didn't it? Clear this out. Shut that down. Now we'll go on to the last one, the high speed Hornady here, the 30 round or the 30 grainer. Come on, get in there. Let's hit record again. Camera rolling. And here we go. Actually, I'm going to move to the left on this one. I'm going to aim right at that bone end. Boom. That thing moves some meat, boy. That thing moves some meat. Let me get some gloves on and we'll talk about it. Boom. That thing moves some meat, boy. I'm glad that you came here today for your exam. I'm just going to need you to please bite down on this stick and hum the ABCs. I'm just kidding, that's weird. Let's see what we got here, kids. Let's see what we got. So, coming in here, you guys probably saw when we shot this, boy, that bone explodicated. It explodicated. There's little fragments of bullets in there. There's a lot of deliciousness. So this was that V-Max, and that ogged out. I mean, look at that. That ogged out. My fingers just buried into what was the femur. That's pretty significant. Here is the entrance, and I see no exit for the first round, which was the, actually, let's dig through here a little bit more. I'm gonna get a knife out. Let's see what we can find in here, huh? By the way, to keep your knife sharp, you can cut through meat pretty quickly. Wow, that just destroyed the end of that femur. Where'd she go? I don't see it exited. Let me cut this apart here. I just see, what I see is little bits of lead everywhere in here. I think that it hit the bone and just splodicated. I think it's just gone. I don't see any like actual bullet fragment. I just see a million little pieces. That's interesting. So let's look where I shot that first round. And make no mistake, guys, some of you guys are going to watch this and you're going to be like, this isn't science. Well, what is science? What is science? Science is creating an experiment, testing some theories, seeing what comes out, and then seeing if it can be recreated, right? What I'm looking at here is seeing what these little rounds do to actual chunks of meat. That's what I want to know. I want to know, are they going to punch in? How deep? What's it look like? Man, where did they go? So it ran in here. Check this out. It ran in a couple of inches, hit the bone, blew the bone apart, and again, little shiny bits of lead everywhere through here. So it hit the bone and just created some havoc. And then that third round is over here to the left. I can't even see an entrance. So it's interesting, you know, just talking about from a medical standpoint. So medical standpoint, where is the bullet? I don't know. Was he shot? Carnage inside, and we're not even able to find where this first round impacted, are we? I'm gonna just cut right through this thing. Yeah, see if we can get down to it. Man, I can't find squat, diddly squatski. But what will be fun is shooting this again. So here's what I think happened. We lined up with the bone. As I traverse back, each of them looks like it impacted the bone. The bone destroyed wherever it got hit, got destroyed, and I see little bits of lead. From a side note, we talk about things like wound packing. This is sharp as shit. This is a chunk of bone. If you started jamming your fingers into somebody to put wound packing material in there, you could easily cut yourself on a chunk of bone. This is sharp, man. I mean, people for thousands of years have used bones to make tools, to make fish hooks, to do things like weapons, right? And because the damage that was inflicted, even by that little 22 Win Mag, chip these bones up, you could easily hurt yourself while coming in here to help provide aid. Man, the Hornady, I'm going to try to show you guys, it is just a pile of lead all over in here. I don't know if you can see the little shiny bits everywhere. This is all just fragmented lead all through here from that round. And that's what I think happened. Everywhere I look, we hit the bone, and there's just little bits of lead dust all through here. So those fairly quick moving bullets disintegrated against the bone. Let's talk about this. Do I feel that this round is suitable for self-defense? Well, it depends. I mean, getting punched in the face, getting hit with a club, getting hit with a bat, getting hit by a car, all of those things can be self-defense. Getting shot by a 22, getting shot by a 12 gauge. We apply force commensurate with the force that's being delivered to us. That doesn't mean if you punch me, I punch you back. It means if lethal force is justified, I use some type of force that I think will stop you or change what you're doing so you stop hurting me or hurting whoever you're hurting, right? If all you can use is a firearm of this caliber due to laws, due to hand size, due to availability, due to affordability, this stuff's cheap for the most part. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I would much rather have this gun than no gun. People say, well, that's not all that's available. Yeah, but for some people, cost, availability, things like that, weight matter. If I was off on a long walk on the woods, I would have no problem using that to zing a critter, two-legged, four-legged, slithers on the ground. I'm gonna fall back and do some 20, 30, 40-yard shots on some birthday balloons because today's Mom's birthday. I'm gonna throw some balloons up on the targets here and have some fun at distance and see what this thing does. But I'm actually digging on this little gun. This is just a fun kind of, let's see what this thing's doing. And I hope the meat was kind of valuable to you to see. We're talking about a few inches of penetration, but we hit bone and it immediately stopped these little rounds. Had this been a 9mm, even a 38, even something like a 32 or a 25, they may have hit those bones and keep going. I'm not surmising that. I'm saying that because we've shot meat many, many, many times, similar chunks of flesh. Rifle round, shotgun, something like that, often punches holes straight through these bones. These are going slow enough that they hit and break up. The mass is small enough that they're not hitting and blowing them apart and continuing on. They're just disintegrating, which is interesting. Think about that from a perspective of over penetration. Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a house that's built pretty thinly, sheetrock, fiberglass, vinyl siding, and foam sheeting? Where are those rounds going to go? These things are worth considering. It's not always just give me the 50 cal. I'm responsible for where my bullets end up. let's stretch her out and we'll wrap this bad dude up. All right, we're out at 25. Let's see if we can pop some of these balloons. We'll start at that bottom one. Top blue, red balloon. So what I've noticed at any distance I've shot at, these sights shoot way over. So I was just having to hold at the bottom here at 25 to pop those. Pretty cool. Let's move you a little bit and I'm gonna zing zing some steel. TA targets, my preferred target. On the left, safety. Right. That is about a 3-inch group here at 25 yards on that right target. I'm holding dead center and it seems to be shooting about 5 inches high with this jacketed hollow point. See the little head swinger out there? Let me zoom you in on that little head swinger. I'm gonna try to hit it. That head swinger, that hostage plate is 5 inches. I'm gonna see if I can hit that sucker. There's 2 marks on it now. There we go. Wow, that thing moves that flapper better than I thought. In order to hit it, I need to aim all the way underneath it. So I don't know, what the exact thought process is with where they zeroed these sights, but that's how they're hitting. Right target. Man, I'm gonna show you that group down there. Not that it's the most amazing group, but we're talking about the ability to hit things with this gun, and that's just offhand shooting. I've only got 50 rounds through this thing, so I'm at 25 yards. That's 4 shots, and I'm not trying to get great accuracy. I was just holding on the center here. That's 1, 2, 3, and the 4th up high. Here's my finger. I would venture to say that's an 1 3/4 inches center to center. Pardon the camera angle. 4-inch group there, just blasting away. Ooh, these wood boring bees. Get off my target stand, dude. I want to shoot him. Look at him. You're not going to bore through that steel. That's TA targets, baby. That's too strong for you. You can't get in there. Nope, you leave me alone. Well, what'd you think? I kind of dug it. The accuracy was pleasantly surprising. 3-4-inch groups at 25 yards offhand, and I've only got every round I fired, I believe I filmed. So you saw how many rounds of this I shot. 3 or 4 mags at most, and not all of them were full. And I'm getting 3-4-inch groups at 25 yards. That means the gun can probably do better than that, which is cool. The rear sights I forgot to show you are molded into this kind of composite cap thing that's screwed on with 4 little screws. I don't know if you can put a red dot on here or not. If you can, that's up to you. The rear sights are molded in, so I don't know how you could ever change those. The front is dovetailed, so you could adjust some windage on that, but there's no elevation adjustments. So you have to figure out your holds on this thing. Trigger feels all right. The gun shoots all right. We've got a couple stoppages. That is kind of the nature of rimfire guns. You're going to have to kind of deal with that. I've never had a rimfire gun that kind of always works. You just get some stoppages. Why is that? I don't know. Why is the sky blue, right? Why is a Hemi? I don't know. But that is kind of the nature of the beast. There's a lot of reasons that rimfires have some of those issues. One of them is that there's not a lot of extra energy in those tiny little cartridges to reciprocate things. That's why this stuff is also lightweight. Anywhere from like $350, $360 to like $420 online. I think I paid like $360 for this thing. I think it'd be a great tool to be able to go into the woods, go on a walk with the animal, with your dogs, so to speak, be out in the back 40 and have something that you could basically send a swarm of hornets at somebody if you needed to. And I showed you those balloons. Those were like 8-9-inch balloons. It was very easy for me to pop them. You just need to learn your holds. I'm interested to play with this some more. Having to hold under every single thing I'm shooting at. We're going to lollipop with this. Nobody's behind the camera. Don't freak out. So unlike your Glock sights or something like that style of gun, you're going to put these sights under what you're trying to shoot. Great gun if you've got diminished strength, lack of strength, maybe arthritis, carpal tunnel. Maybe you were born with some body parts that don't allow you to hold a 9mm or a 45 or something like that. Something else to think about. Probably anywhere that sells ammunition, you can find 22 Win Mag. That's cool. The fact that these magazines hold 30 rounds of ammunition is pretty neat. So if I have one on board and one in my backpack or pocket, I've got 60 rounds of ammo with me. I mean, that's freaking 4 Glock 19 mags, right? That's pretty neat. Not very expensive. I think these were like 25 or 30 bucks a piece when I bought them. Today's May 7th, 2024. I think oftentimes we get a little bit snobbish. Well, I've got to have this gun to defend myself. Make no mistake, the will of a man or a woman, what lies in their heart, is really the thing that most dictates the outcome of a self-defense scenario. Luck is on everybody's plate, right? You could be a good guy, bad guy, and luck might swing in your favor. People get struck by lightning. People have had meteors hit their house. Dumb luck happens, right? You're the guy that gives up your seat on the plane being nice, and the plane crashes and you have to live with it. Crap happens. Hope is not a course of action, as we know. I would not want the hornet's nest coming out of this thing. You saw what it did to the meat hitting me in the chest or face. I think you would agree. We know it can create some accuracy, so if you do your part, you're probably going to stop that coyote, maybe that cougar. Maybe you will stop that bad guy coming into your house. Let's think about over-penetration. We talked about that a little bit earlier. If I know that this thing's only going through a few 3-4 inches of meat and stopping, might I think that that's advantageous when I'm thinking about not over-penetrating into a neighbor's apartment, into a neighbor's house, something like that? Maybe my own home where I've got loved ones that are moving about. Food for thought. If we need to use righteous violence against animal, bad guy, whatever's trying to prey on the weak, on the innocent, on the law-abiding, have training, know and understand the equipment, be it this little diminutive 22 Win Mag, or your double-aught buck, or the nuclear weapon if you are Congress and a president. Have a moral code and compass to guide you so that you make choices, that you will not hurt innocent life. Get really good at practicing target identification. Get really good at mediating problems before they explode and turn into issues. Learn to walk away from trouble. But if you need it, if you must defend yourself or those you love or some other innocent, do it with a fervor. Fight righteously, train to win, know and understand the law where you live. We've got a discount code for CCW SAFE that ends May 31st. It's only for followers and subscribers. If you want it, DM me or shoot me an email to training@carrytrainer.com. I'm not publishing this discount code because people share it places they shouldn't. It's just for you. Send me a message, 10% off CCW SAFE, which to me is the best in the business. Concealed carry coverage in case you should need it. If you got questions on that, talk to me about it. Check out Ignis Lux Coffee. That is our brand. I actually roast this stuff myself. I'm very much enjoying it. It's been an endeavor of love. It is therapeutic. It's cathartic. I'm getting to let my artistic side out a little bit. I hope this stuff is valuable to you. I enjoy it. Nobody gave me this gun. Nobody gave me that ammo. Somebody did give me those targets, though. TA Targets are my homeboys, and I shoot their stuff because it's the best. CarryTrainer gets you a discount code on that. CarryTrainer gets you a discount code on the hat point targets that are out there. CarryTrainer gets you a discount code at your mom's house, too. Try that. Your moms love me. Yeah. Be well. Don't be dickheads. Tell somebody you love them. Bye now. Oh, hey.